Hi, welcome to another Next Wave DV gear review. I'm your host, Tony Reale. Today we're going to be looking at a slider for Konova, the K7. This is a nice, very portable slider, very easy to carry around with you. This is their 4-foot version, which to me is a good mid-range for anyone. A 2-foot slider might not be enough. 3 foot, you might even still be looking for more. 5 foot could be a little bulky, so 4 foot's a nice size. Now, with a 4 foot, you're going to need 2 support sessions. So we're going to have a tripod and we're going to have a light stand. We're going to test this out, see how it performs, and see how it can handle for your productions. It has this really nice carrying case with the shoulder support. Just always nice to have your slider protected in a case. I learned a long time ago that sliders are one of the most important pieces of gear to have in the case, because if the rails get nicked up, you're pretty much done shooting with that slider. So one thing you'll notice right away is that it's very, very slim compared to some other sliders out there like Glide Track or Kessler. Usually have a bit wider of a track. So we're going to see how well this performs, whether that slimness means less stability or whether this can handle extra weight. So the setup I'm using here, we have a Manfrotto 504 HD, and we're just going to slide this on here. And so this will be one side of it, and then the other side we'll just use a light stand. All right, here we've got the Manfrotto 502 HD head. This is the flat mount, and the Konova K7 has a built-in little thread here, so we can actually thread the 502 directly onto it. So that's nice, no extra adapters needed. All right, now that we're attached up, all we have to do is release the brake right here, and now we have smooth slider motion. Everything is set up and is ready for our camera. All right, for our camera today, we're going to be using the Sony FS100. To me, this is a good mid-range camera to test on this. I don't think this slider necessarily could handle a full broadcast camera, and it definitely can handle a DSLR. So the FS100 is kind of mid-range of that. We're going to check the stability and check just how smooth the motion that we can get. All right, so we got our camera set up for our first shot here. Just going to do a basic slider move. Nice reveal of the sun behind the towers. And as I'm using the slider, I'm noticing it's pretty smooth, very, very smooth. It's as smooth as I expect. It's got nice steel rods in here. It's got the measuring tape. This is measured out in centimeters. I'm used to using inches, so that's a little bit of an inconvenience for me. I don't know if they have inch versions that you can get in exchange or instead of the centimeters, but if you're in a country where you're used to using centimeters, then that should be fine. So here we're at 24 millimeter with our Metabone speed boosters. This is a pretty wide angle shot right here. So we're gonna do a couple of wide angles and then we'll move in for some tight shots. All right, I'm at 105 millimeter on my Canon lens. I'm gonna switch off image stabilization. So any vibration that you might see is just gonna translate immediately to the image. So we're gonna hit record, release the lock, and we're gonna do our move here. All right, so 4 foot's really nice for a lot of things. Of course, you can get a nice long slider move, but because of the height of the system, we should be able to get a nice vertical move, or at least angled vertical move. So if we release the stand like we have it here, and make sure that this is locked off, and now I'm just gonna tilt the camera down, and there, we're mounted on the ground now. We have some nice stability. So let's try doing some vertical moves. Obviously these aren't gonna be counterweighted, so I'm gonna have to be pulling on the camera myself, but we'll see how stable the system is for a move like that and how smooth I can pull it off myself. All right, so simply put, we just have still our 502 mounted here, and I have it tilted up so that it's fairly level with the surface. And then if we release this, we're on a nice move. Now, of course, I'm having to pull this up myself, so it's a little heavier than I would probably prefer. Definitely not a replacement for a jib, but it would give you some smoothness because you're following the track. You're not trying to do this handheld, so you can get some stability there. So let's do a couple test shots with this. All right, so obviously there's kind of a minimum height that we can get with this system, even if we had like 2 tripods in low mode. So there's gonna be times where you're gonna wanna either go tabletop or directly on the ground, and you're gonna wanna have feet. The Konova does come with it, and we've got these ones here, these feet attach right on the ends, which is something I like. You know, the Kessler one has to attach within there, and if you have tripod plates mounted, you might have to unscrew the tripod plates, which can be a little bit annoying. But here you can see we just attach it to the side and then swing the feet down. And so once you're down, you can also adjust the thread here for really minute adjustment. So there's a lot of adjustability in here. There's only so much height that you get off of this system. You can't get really high, but this adds stability because, as we talked about, this is a very thin slider, so you know it's stable. Once it's mounted to something, it feels very stable. There's not a lot of wobble. There's not any wobble really of the camera on there, so there's no play within the track. You just need to make sure that it's stable. So having a wide platform to put on the ground is going to be very beneficial. I don't think that this would just go on the ground by itself. You probably would have issues with the camera tipping over. So let's get these both mounted on there and we'll do some ground test shots. All right, so here we're setting up the K7, and we've got a fairly uneven surface. There's a little bit of a slope here, and you know, of course, it's cement, so it's not very even. So we're gonna get these feet as low as we can and just pretty much hugging the ground. And then let's go over here, extend these up as high as we can. There you go. Very stable and pretty even. I mean, it's slightly off, but we can compensate that with the tilt of the camera. Overall, yeah, that's a stable surface. Going to be able to get some good smooth pans and dollies here. Yep, no flex in the track and no wobble. So we're ready for the camera. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our move. All right, so that is the Konova K7 slider. Overall impressions are very good. This thing is very well built, metal construction. The sliding is very smooth. I know it's like minimal, if any, issues with any nicks or any bumps or anything on the smooth. For a slider this thin, I'm also impressed at how stable it is. It performed very well, better than I expected from a slider this small. They do have other sizes. I think 4 foot is the largest one that they have right now. And so if you're wanting a portable, large slider system, this is definitely one to consider. It's really easy to carry, very lightweight. And of course you do need 2 points of contact for stabilizing it, for setting it up. But as you saw, we had a tripod and we had a light stand, and it performed incredibly well. So overall, I give this system a big thumbs up. It's definitely not the cheapest one out there, but it's a mid-range slider. So it's not the most expensive, not the cheapest, but it's definitely one to consider when you're in the market. So again, that's the Konova K7 slider. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out our other reviews and our other training.